Well, welcome to Cardano Builders. You're all builders on and off Cardano. Be here to inform, celebrate wins, keep each other accountable, and provide support and actionable advice. We do that in a check-in format, where we share our 30 seconds also pitch, what we have accomplished recently, what's next, and also what we need help with. So all the information that is provided, that is not part of the recorded session, that is to be treated as confidential per default. So that means that you gotta ask for permission if you want to share anything that is said in a private conversation. Let me stop my share, move you over here. And since we're a smaller group today again, so let's, at least for now, let's stay and join session. I'm just going to provide a quick update on what we're doing at Logs, and then stop the recording, and then going to get more into the interesting things. Wonderful. All right, so one of the things, the overarching themes that we built at Logs is Deflect. Deflect is a decentralized functional ledger ecosystem for conflict transformation. Right? So what we have done with that recently, we focus on a talent retention service, essentially, that is a very targeted mediation service for innovative organizations. So they keep their employees happy, solve problems as early as possible in an amicable way, and we essentially help to create a more equitable workforce through that. So we had a couple of conversations with potential new customers. Actually, not a couple. Last week, there was one potential new customer that we have identified as such. But in addition to that, there were also a couple of investor meetings, and I approached the investors actually more of a position where their portfolio companies actually would be potential customers. So some conversations I engaged with, I've felt that, yeah, they might not be a good investor for us due to various reasons, but they might have interesting portfolio companies that they work with that might be very well aligned with what we're trying to do as well. So that was good. Also, plenty of more conversations with ADR professionals. I kind of alluded to that it's going to happen in the last check-in, and that did happen. So we talked to more mediators, arbitrators, but then also educators in the field to increase our teaching capacities as well. We've been getting clarity on our B2B model for the talent retention system, so pricing, etc. We have a rough model for that, and also, more interestingly, a potential path for DIDs. As in some other calls last week, I voiced my concern with, that Atala Prism still is not on mainnet, but there's a potential path using Hyperledger, Aries, and then also in combination with Cacti, which I started a workshop earlier today that allows for interoperability with other blockchains. So I have to look more into that, but there's a potential path that we can still keep on developing on Cardano, but some of the more, I guess, advanced features we can supplement with something on the Hyperledger framework. So what's next? So we started on a pricing model, and now we have to essentially figure out if that's going to work. So we have to get paying customers, right? So that is something that's very important to us. And another big part actually is that this new service that we offer, we actually still don't have a final name. We know how it fits into our ecosystem, but we actually do not have a name yet for what we're going to offer. And there's also kind of like two very different packages. One is like purely company focused, and one is an extra step as an employee benefit, so that employees at companies who are our customers can not only use our services for internal disputes, but also bring into their private lives as well. So which is slightly different framing. But that's probably what we would hope for. It's kind of like the best offer that we would have. Also, a little bit more domain modeling. So what I mean by that is, so I have a lot of this expertise in how it should work in my head. And I think Victor has also had glimpses of that. But I think in also communicating that, like how everything works to potential customers, it just needs to be written out. So I think I have a path for that as well in terms of, okay, what are the overarching domains of our system? What are the events that take place? And what are the various workflows, right? So both internally at Logs and at our customers, at their end consumers. So modeling that out would be probably very helpful. And it's surprising to me that how far we got without actually having done that. So I focused some of my energy in that today, or this week rather. And then, yeah, really trying to get those initial B2B customers. Not sure if that's going to happen this week, but that's something that we're working for. And we also revisited a potential bridge round for investment with our ADR token for people that already KYC'd and participated in our private round. That's something to be discussed internally as well. What we need help with, so there's a stakeholder Q&A form that I posted. There's not a lot of activity on that yet. I'll post it in the chat. And what that is essentially, so now that Logs is 1 year old, we figured it would be a good thing to provide an update from our side, what's going to happen next, etc. But then also we would like to at the same time answer questions people might have, and kind of make one event out of that, kind of like a general update. And combine that with probably a preview of what's going to happen or what we think is going to happen in 2023. So, and there's many stakeholders, right? So we of course have all internal people at Logs, our mediators, our trainees, but then also individuals, we have companies, we have other people in the ADR community that are not associated with us in any way yet, general public, we have various stakeholders in the Cardano community, because we are also in part funded by the Catalyst system. And then of course we have our, and I use this word very loosely, not in a legal sense, but partners, right? So people who support us. So we want to hear from everyone. And yeah, that's my ask on that. Yeah, that's my update.